claim the Georgia name was sweet Georgia Red.
I think this is a great time to get deep into listening, you know. But of course, it's a great time for singers to increase their repertoire. It's a good time to work on their voices as far as technique is concerned. It's also a good time to commit yourself to becoming a really good storyteller. I had set out to be an artist. That was my passion growing up from the time I can remember. And my degree happens to be in art education. And I did teach in high school for a year before I got into music. But on the other hand, I also grew up in church and with music and started playing piano when I was 9, started getting paid to play piano in church when I was 11, and was responsible for 3 choirs by the time I was 12. And so I've always had music in my life. I've always loved music, but I just never thought of it as a career because I was so passionate about art at the time. But to make a long story short, when I went away to university, my junior and senior year, I sang with a band full time, but I just never thought of it as a career. And it wasn't until after I graduated, got my teaching position, that I ended up in the studio with a band that I used to sit in with sometimes. So I ran into them by chance just days before I started teaching. And they persuaded me to go into the studio with them and just do some background vocals and maybe lead vocals on a couple of tunes. But I ended up doing that, but also co-writing and uh, uh, and doing quite a few of the lead vocals on this particular album. And when we completed that project, they asked me to join the band, and I said, "Nah, I don't think so," you know, because it was rock and roll, and I had a real job. I knew I was getting paid every 2 weeks, you know. So I said no, but they kept after me until I finally agreed to do that. And I think I worked with them for about a good at least 6 months, and we were working 6 nights a week, and I was teaching, of course, 5 days a week. And my body says, "You got to make a decision here, because otherwise I'm going to quit on you." So in the middle of the school year, which would have been my second semester, I resigned from teaching and joined the band full time, and that was it. Never looked back. I'm working on a project. Actually, I just became the recipient of the Western Canadian Music Awards Spiritual Singer of the Year. That just happened here just a few days ago, actually. And that album, which is entitled "The Promise," will be released later on this year. And I'm also working on a new recording, and I'm going to do this along with an incredible Canadian singer by the name of Denzel Sinclair. January last year, we began a symphony pops program together called Unforgettable 100 Years of Nat and Natalie Cole. We didn't have an encore ready with the entire orchestra. So Denzel had the bright idea of going out and said, "Well, let's just go out. You know, do you know an old spiritual by the name of Steal Away?" I said, "Sure." So he said, "Okay, let's go." So we went on stage and sung this song, and the crowd went berserk. They just went wild, you know. So that became our encore song. And then one time Denzel says, "You know, we should make a pops program out of spirituals and hymns and other songs, you know, like that." I said, "Sure." So we kept talking about it and then started taking action. And one thing led to another, where Cellar Music, which is a great independent label here in Canada, got real excited about it. We have some incredible musicians lined up to work on this with us. And yeah, it's very exciting.
Georgia claim the Georgia name was sweet Georgia Red.